the screen, right? And it's sitting right here. And you can see that I have a bunch of fields, the fields that you see in my email list here. So I have sender, I have subject, content, date, attachment name, attachment content, size, the ability to pick emails with or without attachments, and to filter by priority. Okay. Now let's assume that, so I'm going to be playing the role of Jack. So let's assume that I receive a same-time message or a phone call from one of my teammates. Let's assume that it's Maya Fisher. And she says that, hey Jack, I sent you this email with a spreadsheet attachment a few weeks back, and I'd like you to quickly review and respond because I need to send it out today. So what I do typically, what all of us would do, I guess, is to sort the sender column by Maya and then scroll down, locate emails with the paperclip icon here, and then say, okay, this might be it, and open that. No, that's a document. That's not it. And then scroll down and continue to scroll down till I locate more of my email messages with the paperclip icon, and then open and close them based on what they are until I finally locate that message. Right? And in this process, depending on how many email messages I have from Maya, how many of them have attachments, how many of them have, say, spreadsheet attachments, this could take anywhere from a couple of minutes to 10-15 minutes. Right? Now, here is what I'm going to do in few clicks. I'm going to go to my sender column here and simply type in Maya. Hit my enter key, and as you can see, if you look at the top left-hand corner of my inbox, it says 241 messages. Right? So I have 241 messages from Maya. Then I go to my attachment name column here and type in XLS or spreadsheet, and there you go. Right? In less than 5 seconds, I've isolated the 3 email messages in my entire inbox from Maya that have spreadsheet attachments. Now, all I need to do is open them up, and in this case, yep, I did, and that's it. I got it. Right? Now, let me give you another example. Now, let's say, now this is a little more complicated. Now, let's say that as part of the marketing team, we use other software products, and I have a problem with, let's assume, my web analytics software, and I'm looking for support information. So support number, support email, whatever. And I know that we recently renewed the support contract, so I'm looking for that support contract so that I can, find the support email ID or phone number that I need to contact. So what I'm going to do is, and let's even assume that I don't even remember what that software is called, right? So I'm going to go to my email content column right here, and I say that I'm looking for, I'm sure the word support is in there somewhere, right? That's 206 messages with the word support. Then I'm going to go to my attachment content here, and few clicks also indexes attachment content, and I'm going to say I'm looking for all invoices that relate to my support, and there it is. Now, you can imagine how difficult this would have been without few clicks, right? I mean, I would not have possibly even known where to begin. I most probably would have called my IT team and I've said, look, this is what I'm looking for, so can you guys, I'm sure you have that email somewhere, can you locate it for me? And now I'm not only spending time looking for this email in my mailbox, I'm getting other people to spend time looking for that email in their mailboxes, right? And this is how you can see that, productivity across the enterprise can get affected if I don't have the ability to really quickly find an email that I'm looking for. Now, my third use case. Now, let's, for example, assume that I'm looking for an email message from a user, but I don't remember the name of the person. Now, this can happen quite often because either we interact with a number of people in that particular organization and we don't remember all of their names or their email IDs, or I'm not very familiar, I don't interact with them frequently, and I don't remember who it is, right? So what I can do in few clicks, I can drop this filter down. So this filter icon lists all of the persons who have sent me emails, right, or the senders. Now I can go here and say, show me the domains instead. Right? And in this case, let's assume I'm looking for an email from the Deutsche Notes user group, DNUG. So I'm going to scroll down that list, locate DNUG, and click OK. And there you go. I found the message. Now, I can also go here and type dnug.de, and that will also get me the same message. Again, this is an example of how I would have spent several minutes looking for this email and possibly involved other people looking for this email if I didn't have this capability. So similarly, I can use any combination of elements here to locate an email. So let's assume that I am looking for an email, say from Josh, right? And that email is an attachment that has, for example, let's assume laptop in the subject. I know that's related to laptops, so here are my 14 email messages with laptops in the subject. I'm looking for dashboards associated with my laptop sales. I want to say simply dash here. I don't even have to say dashboard. Okay, nothing with dash. And let's say I'm looking for presentations. Right, so I can go here and say PPT, and there you go. So any combination of elements that I remember about a particular email message or a set of email messages I can use to locate that email. And most often we find that people are able to locate a message within seconds pretty much. Now I'm going to switch to prioritization, and you can see here I have this little button that says prioritize. I'm going to click on that, and that pulls down a new set of options for me that help me with my prioritization tasks. Now, for example, like I was saying, right? Let's assume that I've been away from my office for a week, traveling, meeting customers or whatever, and during that period, I've had access to my email, but limited access, and possibly most of the time I've spent looking at my email on my mobile device, right? So which means that I have possibly responded to some of the important messages, but I haven't obviously got to all of them. And I'm back at my desk, and I now want to make sure that I get to all of those email messages that I missed. So what I can do here, I can say first, show me all email messages that I received in the last week, right? That is 111 messages. And then I can say, show me email messages that are addressed only to me, right? Now, why do I pick only to me? Because most likely this email hasn't gone to anybody else, and which means that the user is depending on me for a response, so I better get to them first, right? And then I can say all those out of these 8 that are unread, right? There you go. So apart from the 2 meeting confirmations, I have 3 email messages that I need to go through. Then I can say, show me email messages to me and others once I'm done with that. And here there's a lot more, so I'm going to then filter this down to my unread email. That's still 34, quite a lot. And then maybe start with those that are marked important, right? 3 messages. Now let's say I'm done with these. Then I can go to my next set of emails where I'm copied, and then again do the same thing, unread, important, and right, I'm done. Once I'm done, I can clear everything by clicking that little button. Then I can go back, and I can also do something else that's very interesting. I can say, for example, show me all email messages that I received in the last 7 days, and I have this little button here that will pick up email messages that I have not replied to or forwarded, right? And that's 74 messages. Then among this, I can then say, show me the important ones first and the unread ones, and then start here and keep going. So I don't have to perform this activity of scrolling up and down my email for the last 30 days, which could be 100 emails, couple of 100 emails, and then figuring out the ones that I need to respond to, the ones I have responded to, and so on and so forth. Here's another use case. Now, many of us use the flag, right, to flag emails for follow-up or, as a method of prioritization. Now, let's say that, every couple of days I want to come and look at all the email messages that I flag and make sure that I have ticked off whatever action items I am required to complete. So I can come here and say, show me all email messages that I've flagged follow up, and that's 13. And then I can go here to my little drop down and say, show me all the high priority ones first. Okay, that's 3. I can go through them. Once I'm done with them, I can say, show me all the normal priority ones, go through them, and then I'm done. Okay. Now, let me give you another example of prioritization, which is related to an activity or a task. I'm sure all of us participate in review meetings that are scheduled, periodic reviews, and let's say assume that my review meeting with my content creation team is coming up later this afternoon, right? And I need to go pick up messages from these folks, and obviously they've sent me emails with attachments, with documents or presentations or spreadsheets that I need to review and put a note with my comments there before I get to that meeting. Now what I do again, if I didn't have few clicks, is basically, for example, let's assume that James is part of that meeting. I go sort, scroll down to attachments from James, open them up, and then go to the next person. Let's assume that's Josh, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to be spending maybe the next 15-20 minutes locating those emails before I spend time with the content itself. Right now, here's what I can do in few clicks. And this particular example, because I use folders, and possibly some of these emails may be sitting in my folders and not in my inbox. I don't want to miss them. In case they are, I'm going to go to my All Documents view. So I have all my documents here, and in this view, I'm going to say, give me all the emails from my team. So it's going to be Josh, James, and let's say Tom, right? I'll hit my Enter key, and that's 1,700 emails, right? And I'm going to say I'm interested only in emails in the last 7 days, because the emails older than that we possibly have reviewed. That's 60 messages, and then I'm going to say show me only emails with attachments. That's 8. There you go. So here I can still go and say, okay, let me begin with the presentations. That's 1. Once I'm done, then let me go to the spreadsheets. That's the rest of them, and I'm possibly prepared well ahead of the meeting. I want to quickly switch to how few clicks can help me with my organization tasks. So first, let's assume that I have an email quota of 250 megabytes, and I'm kind of within that quota. I need to send out a couple of messages with large-sized attachments, and I find that I am already at 245 megabytes, and the message is not getting sent. Right? So I need to very quickly isolate email messages that are large and archive them as long as I've already reviewed those messages and they're ready to go into my archive. Right? So what I can do is I have the size drop down here. I can say show me all email messages that are between 1 megabyte and 5 megabytes. Right? There you go. I have the message. I can go to actions, archive, and say archive selected documents. I'm done. Now let's say that still isn't enough. I need to archive a few more. I can go now to the next batch. Messages between 100 kilobytes and 1 megabyte. That's 63 of them. Now obviously I don't want to archive any of these messages that I need in my inbox and then have the trouble of looking for them later in my archive. So I can go to my date filter here, drop that down, expand my calendar and say okay, good. So I'm sure I don't need my messages that are from 2009, from 2010, and maybe from the first let's say 3 or 4 months in 2011. And that's 25 email messages. I select all of these like that, then go and archive them again. Right? That's taken me a few seconds to do. Now let's assume that my folder management day is today, and I need to move messages to my folders that I clear up my inbox. I have 1,500. It feels too many. Right? So I have this.